Hello. Okay, so I decided to do a video outside. I'm not sure why. Y'all know I hate the heat, so I'm just turning this bad boy on. I hope y'all can hear me. If not, I tried. Decided to make a video on like who's hating on you and what you should do about it. Cause like I have a lot of haters, so I know people who follow me probably have a lot of haters too. And so we should probably figure out what to do with that. So that's why I'm making this video. Take it however you want to. But let's get started. So we got pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I'll give y'all a few seconds. Okay, pile 1. So we got Exorcist and Companion. It's giving toxic best friend. Got the Judgment, Justice, 3 of Pentacles, and 2 of Pentacles. Oh, and then for the Exorcist, there's light. So for these cards, these oracle cards, there's light and shadow attributes. The Exorcist says freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. And then there's shadow attributes where it says fear or facing your own demons. And then we have Companion where it says loyalty. Is it tenacity? Well, if I said it wrong, whatever. And then unselfishness. And then the shadow attributes were betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. And these cards, oracle cards, I like to read privately to myself. And so that's how, I don't know, I tend to keep those kind of messages to myself for some reason, but it goes along with it. Which I know sounds weird. It's just those cards are more sacred to me. So when I use them with others, I don't tell them what they mean or anything. I just go into the thing. If you hear animals, just ignore it. And if people interrupt this reading, you're going to hear me be rude to them because I already established my boundaries. And if people want to break them, I don't feel ashamed for being rude about it. Okay, so we have you are too good for them. They are petty. Only hurt will come out of this. This one was reversed, but it says they want to impress you. I don't think it's for positive reasons, so that might be why it came up upside down. Then we have, they have a hard time listening. And then we have, they are being fake. So like, I feel like this is a friend that you have shared ideas with, and they've either bashed the entire thing and convinced you not to do something, or they disregarded your idea on a project, you know, or it gives me like the energy too of like a coworker that you've gotten close to, but now you're catching on that like they don't care about you outside of work. Like you got the vibe that y'all could be friends, but now you're catching on like they don't care. And yeah, so this is like, it's very superficial. So like, I think you took the friendship a little much more, and it's not a negative way. I think you took it a little more intense than they did. And you're expecting the same energy of a certain friendship and a certain outcome and companionship from this person, and you're not going to get it. But they also know this about you, and they're just choosing to ignore that and use you for whatever reason. And this could go into friendships, love, etc. But I really feel like this is strictly friendships. So if you have like a homie, he always comes by to sleep or borrow a couple of dollars, vent his problems and then leave. Or if your homegirl comes over when she's mad at her boyfriend and her life's not going her way, and then when she's done venting to you and her life's okay again, she disappears. Like, it's kind of this energy. Because I think people seem to forget that Just because your friend, and I'm going to throw this out there to married couples, just because some of your friends aren't married, does not mean you get to toss them aside. It's very rude. I think people uplift marriage more than they should, because this person came into your life for romantic feelings, and that means you put romantic feelings over friends who have been there before and after romantic partners. Like, that makes no sense to me at all. But also my logic is very flawed at times, so that might be why I feel that way. So this pile is mainly for like, oh, that's what it is. So it's like that friend, every time she gets a boyfriend or a girlfriend, she disappears, or same with the guy. They disappear, their whole identity is their partner, and then when they break up, they come back and they're like, let's be friends. And it's like, baby, you've missed like 2 years of my life, and you're literally exactly the same. This is cringe, you know? With this kind of friendship, I think you know that y'all don't need to be friends anymore. I think this reading's more of a validation for that. And so if you've been distancing yourself, I think you're doing the right thing. Keep those boundaries up and do not go to them for things anymore. Do not tell them your ideas. Do not tell them any of that, because they're just gonna like send negative vibes your way. And also, like, can I just like throw something out there? Seeking the friendship of somebody who's usually empty-handed in the situation, it gets you nowhere, and you're just traumatizing yourself. So you can't even blame them at that point. You're just hurting yourself. And if you like to hurt yourself, then go to therapy. But this is really all I got for pile 1. So basically, your friend is fake. The first one that popped in your head, or the one you've been getting weird vibes from, like, they're probably being fake. So stop hanging out with them. And I'm not going to tell you what vibes or anything like that. You still make your own decisions at the end of the day. I'm not even saying they're a bad person. It's just they're making the choice to not treat you correctly. And I don't think that's like, actually, there's a better example. I don't care how nice someone is to everybody else. If I don't like you and you're not nice to me, there's a reason for that. And I trust it. I don't care if they're nice to everybody else and they weren't, and the one time they weren't nice to me, you know, everybody else is taking their side. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. So, beep, beep, beep. Okay, pile 2. So then now we got the Queen. Light attributes: radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. Her shadow attributes: becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. Sounds like me on a bad day or a good day. Child nature: light attributes: friendships with animals, communication with nature spirits. Shadow attribute: tendency to abuse animals and people in the environment. Ooh, I'm scared. We have the High Priestess, the Devil. Oh my gosh, I love these cards my best friend bought me. The Tower, the 7 of Pentacles, and then we also have the 8 of Pentacles. Let me just look these over real fast. Hazel, Giant Redwood, Coast Redwood. Okay, thank you, Santa Muerte. And then let's get into the characteristic little comment cards, and then we'll get into it. They are bad at confrontation. They think you are magical. They want to hang out. They love you, although they're super jealous of you, and they are codependent. So 2 things come into mind. I don't know why. It's a parent or a sibling or both. I have a feeling that whoever chose this pile, your family has struggled with addiction issues in the past, or you have a parent that's been codependent and has needed you for things that are really quite unnecessary. Like, for instance, if you were the bigger brother or bigger sister that pretty much raised your siblings, like, I'm calling y'all out. Like, that shouldn't have been happening. I know it takes a village to raise people, but maybe you shouldn't have that many kids if you can't raise them properly, you know? So it's giving mom energy. And like more particular, like single mom who emotionally attached to her children so extremely that she feels like she gets weird when they start like living their lives or have anything good happen to them. And it could be a father figure too, so let me not gender it. It could just be a parental figure who attaches a little too intensely to their children. I'm pretty sure they gaslight you. I think that's why this says this is bad confrontation. They think highly of you. They always love to be around you. They love you. Like, I believe your parent or whoever's popping in your mind. I do think they love you. But there's just an unhealthy codependence that makes it and turns it negative. It's like, this is a perfect example, the child nature card, because it's saying like friendships with animals and stuff like that. And then the shadow tendencies, the abuse of animals and people, which means you can do it too much, you know? It's like being overbearing. And whether the overbearing is out of love or having bad intentions behind it, that's something you don't need to decipher. You just need to know that the behavior is being done to you and that you should stop that, or not stop it. I mean, because you're not the one doing it, but you should be the one to leave that situation or give some space to let this situation heal. And in this group, if you want this kind of scenario with this person to stop, you need to set boundaries. If they don't respect those boundaries, you have to uphold what you're going to do, because now you're just teaching them that you could throw threats out there and that they could just surpass it. And the fact that you would even put a boundary out there to begin with and they break that boundary, it's utmost disrespect. I don't care what their intentions are behind it. So this also gives that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like that parent that's like, hey, you know, if you're gonna watch my daughter or watch my son, I really don't like it if you, like, I don't want you to do this. But then they do it anyways. Like, it's like, you know, they mean well, but at the same time, they're disrespecting you. So it's like, it's that kind of energy, and they want you to rely on them. And it's just, you know, you want people to be able to rely on you and you rely on others, but not to some unhealthy amount to where, like, this kind of person, they use their worth as that. So if people aren't relying on them, then that means that they have no worth. And that's not how that works, but that's not your problem to fix. But you are enabling it if you enable their behavior. So that's what I got from this. And the reason why the High Priestess popped up, I wanted to point this out, is that you know this, but you keep trying to make excuses for them. So you've either had friends or you've had other family members point it out, and you're just like, no, it's not the case, but you know it's the case. You're just ignoring it. So it's almost like you asked for that misery. Stop it. Okay. Oh, also we're on pile 3 now. Sorry. So we got child. It says, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all its things, the belief that everything is possible, shadow attributes, pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. We have the Hermit. It says, seek solitude to focus intently on their inner life and serves personal creativity, but their shadow attributes are that they withdraw from society out of fear or negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. And then we have straight up addict. Help you recognize and confront addictive behavior, compromises integrity and honesty, and allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. We have cedar of Lebanon, elm, and hawthorn in reverse, might I add. And again, I keep these specific cards to myself because I prefer to read them the way I want to, not how the Oracle deck does it. What else? Let's get these tarot cards out. Okay. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse, the Hierophant in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, and the Knight of Wands in reverse. So clearly this is an ex of yours. They may not be a bad person, but it didn't work out. They're hating. They're looking at your social media. This connection needs boundaries. Preach, mama. They are speaking highly of you. You guys are incompatible and they feel safe around you. So, interestingly enough, sorry if you saw my body. I was making sure the camera was still recording. Interestingly enough, this person doesn't seem like a bad person. But if you two ended on a bad note, and this doesn't, obviously it doesn't have to be a couple, but it does speak romantically in my mind. But if it's not romantic, it can still relate. So just take it however you want to. Whoever this person is, whether it's family, friend, lover, ex-lover, whatever, they're not a bad person. But they are the kind of people that believe that all you need is love and everything else just kind of works out. And now that we're adults and we're grown and, you know, capitalism's a thing, life is a thing, honesty, real things are real. Like, we are in this real, we're living real life. I think these people tend to be in the clouds. So like this person would be like, I want to go to school. So in their brain, they imagine that they went to school and that was already 50% of the work. So they didn't even apply for school yet. They just imagined it and they're like, okay, I did it. Their addictive behaviors, it doesn't have to always be drugs or alcohol because that doesn't pop up in my brain. This one is more like electronics, maybe pornography, food addiction as well comes into mind. And also for my healthy fit lovers, for those who like to work out a lot, like an unhealthy amount, you may consider it healthy. I'm saying if you're having to go to the gym almost every day to get your mind off of things, you are creating an addictive behavior, even if it's for the better good. So just keep that in mind. They see the world a lot differently than you. And that's because in the relationship, you probably were doing all the emotional work and logical work in the relationship. And they were just kind of like, well, I love you and I care about you. I just don't see the problem. Okay, you do love me, but you don't understand my boundaries. You don't care about me. You don't actually put forth any effort. You love the idea of me. So they're the kind of person, they love the idea of you. They don't love the real you. And so if you, I have a feeling that y'all communicate every once in a blue moon, or if you guys have a kid together, because someone popped in my head, and for some reason the image of y'all having a kid together is a thing. If that's the case, your child can still have a good parent, but just know and understand your child's gonna have to understand when they get older why things are the way they are. Because sometimes maybe in this situation, maybe you're looked at as the bad guy, but you know in the longer run you're not. So, just wanted to throw that out there because single dad energy really screams in this pile, or single mom energy as well. Like basically, I saw that one parent doesn't put enough effort and the other's kind of picking up for the both. And so now that y'all are done, because I have a friend who went through this situation, but I'm pretty sure there's others that can relate to it. They just think like their head's just in the clouds, essentially. And then it never got back to reality. And you unintentionally, unbeknownst to you, you enabled it when y'all were together. It seems like now that y'all are done, their head's still not in the clouds. Hence why they might even hint at getting back with you. And you know it's not healthy. And if not getting back together, they try to make up. It's like if you bring up a concern, they reverse it back to you. They gaslight you. Or if you bring up something that there's no way they could gaslight you, they stonewall you. Like, it's just this whole thing. And if you want to avoid this, just be frank and stick to the point. And so when they try to bring up other things, don't respond to it. And I know that sounds really mean, but they have to learn for themselves that you're not interested in their delulu, you know? Especially if you're a parent and you have a delulu baby daddy or baby mama. Like, that's what this is giving. So, because they took the relationship. Like, I think you both were in La La Land when you were in a relationship, and then once you both got into reality and realized, oh my God, we're not compatible at all, and you realized that maybe you had addictions or they had addictions and this was never gonna work, it's just a very, yeah, you guys are just not great together. So, like, don't do it again. And if you do, don't ever question why you're unhappy. You're doing that to yourself. If you know someone's bad for you, stop enabling it. That's my message to all piles, by the way. Stop enabling these people. Okay, last but not least, pile number 4. So we got the Gambler. Light attribute, it's his willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Shadow attributes is rely on luck rather than hard work. We have the Messiah, serving humanity with humility, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. And then we have Virgin, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, the fear of intimate union. And then we got the Empress, Temperance in reverse, the World in reverse, 2 of Cups, and Ace of Wands. And if y'all want to look up these cards and their meanings, it's the Bristlecone Pine, Black Elder, and then there's, I don't know how to say it. It's like, I want to say Suge Knight, but that's not what it is. So I'm gonna, or Sugi. I can't say it, but I call it Suge Knight in my brain. Ay carajo. Okay, and then we got, they are dishonest. Trust issues are affecting this connection. They want to be closer to you. They love spending time with you. They need space, and they are arrogant. This is giving avoidant. So if you have feelings for a guy or a girl, but this energy mainly comes off like a guy that wants to have all his funds together before he dates somebody, he thinks he needs to be this absolute healed person. It's not giving what you think, because I'm going to say this with all honesty and love. If a man wants to, he will. I've dated good men and bad men in my life, and it doesn't matter what kind of man they are. When they want you and want to make things official with you and do everything right, they will do so. So for some reason, it gives like situationship energy and avoidant. Like they're the avoidant and you're the emotional one. Or maybe you're, for some reason, I'm hearing that you might actually be the bad person in this pile and you're just being read to filth right now. So like, I'm honored to be the person to do that. But you may also be the avoidant, and you think everybody else is against you, but really you're kind of being very arrogant about it. They view you, that's what it was. So when I was shuffling this pile, what was really concerning to me is I like to look at my surroundings whenever I'm shuffling, so I'm not thinking. I noticed I kept looking into very specific details of everything while I was outside. And so instead of seeing like, oh, the sun is out, I was like, oh, it's hot. Like I was just focused on the wrong things and fixated on the wrong things when I could have been embracing the moment a little better. And so with that being said, I do think, I think this person in particular tends to micromanage, and if not micromanage, they look for every absolute thing wrong so they don't have to commit, or they don't have to deal with the situation, or they can run away from it. So then they don't take blame or take any part or have to take any responsibility for something. It's like they like the idea of having a wife and kids, but they don't want to put in the energy for it after they've gotten her pregnant, if that makes sense. I do see that there's a possibility that they can change and they want to be closer to you. Like there's good things out of this, but I'm not going to sit here and give you hope. They have to do that for themselves. And you have to focus on yourself during that time. You cannot, I guess y'all can be cordial, but it is not your job to check up on them every day. Don't ever be the first to text. I don't know why that popped in my brain. You might be a girl that's not afraid to text first. Stop. Let them chase you. Like, let them chase you. And I don't care if men hate on me in the comments for that. Like, let them chase you. You're the prize. But this one's kind of nipped in the butt pretty much. This person's a lot more focused on finances and literal materialistic things. They're not really focused, like, they like the idea of having a wife, but they're not emotionally invested in the concept yet, if that makes sense. Like, they're not thinking of it as a team effort. They're thinking of it as a checklist. And you may not want to be with a partner that's like that. They may have great intentions, but that may not be something you want. So just keep that in consideration if you want to continue with this person. But if you want to fix this issue, honestly, I suggest, like, if you're single and you're talking to this person, you need to have like 3 other guys waiting in line, because I don't understand this concept of like, once I start talking to somebody, I cut everybody else off. If I'm single, I'm single. If you want my energy and time and attention, you have to like be consistent. And I'm not saying you have to text me every 5 seconds, but I need to feel that energy. If it's not reciprocated, I have 5 other options. That's the best part of being single. So I just need y'all to keep that in mind. Like, know your worth. What one guy won't do, I promise you there's 10 other guys that will. And same goes around for you men. If you think one girl's super greedy or she's not that great and you're like, this is the best I can get, absolutely flawed. I think you're an amazing, wonderful person. And part of being an amazing, wonderful person is taking the time to recognize you having to focus on yourself, love yourself, and cherish yourself, so that way the right person will reach to you at the highest frequency. Because I've noticed when I've been at my lowest and I've attracted people, they are the scum of the earth. So that's it. I hope you like that. I like to be straight to the point. But if you like my readings and how blunt and honest they are, comment below. Let me know what you like. Whatever kind of reading you want to do next, let me know. I love other ideas besides the ones I think of as well. I enjoy you guys. I love your presence and your energy as always. So, goodbye.